Okay, so basically, war is going to begin in Europe, guys. And on September 1, 1939, the Germans invade Poland, and so begins the Second World War. Hitler's armies overcome the Poles with superior fighting skills and weaponry and ruthless determination. Poland allies, Britain and France, were too far away to offer direct help or even military supplies. The country was conquered in barely a month, and within a year, the Nazis had control of most of the rest of Europe, too. So the Second World War is going to begin in 1939. Nazi troops come in on Poland. They are going to use all kinds of dirty tricks. There's going to be a new way of fighting. Poland loses control of the war in the first 2 or 3 days. And Hitler knew his attack on Poland carried the risk of war with France and Britain, but he was full of contempt for them. They are little worms, he said. I saw them at Munich. I'll cook them a stew they can choke on. But the worms turned. Britain and France declared war on September 3rd, and Germany now had two powerful enemies on its western border. Okay, so we're going to watch a little bit about this and basically about the start of World War II. Well, I thought this was a video, but now I'm looking at this. Oh, these are all just sort of newsreels of things that happen. So you see how many soldiers they had compared to Polish. That's how many tanks they had. This is artillery that Germany and Soviet Union had against the Polish. It's aircraft, so this is demonstrating, wow, this is really showing you how outmanned Poland was here. So these are the areas that they're going to really go after here. This is what they're really going to go after. They're going to try to defend the capital, but...
Dziś rano o godzinie 5:40 oddziały niemieckie przekroczyły granicę polską.
So radio announcement about the outbreak of World War II, on September 1, 1939.
Z dniem dzisiejszym wszelkie sprawy i zagadnienia schodzą na plan dalszy. Całe nasze życie publiczne i prywatne przedstawiamy na specjalnie.
And then Poland is going to be divided here. You're going to see this. So this is the general government, and then this part goes with Russia, and this part here goes to Germany. So they've done it together, and they've basically gotten them defeated. So 70,000 Polish troops were killed in the battle while fighting the Germans. 133,000 were wounded. 420,000 became prisoners of war during that. 7,000 were killed fighting the Soviets. That's the Red Army. And 250,000 Poles were taken captive by the Soviets. Wow, these are incredible numbers. 70,000 were killed in battle while fighting the Germans. So that's just really incredible what happened to Poland. And here is how Poland attempted to try to fight back. It's called the underground state, right? So they're trying to fight back without being known.
Following the destruction of the Polish state by the German and Soviet invaders in September 1939, the structures of the Polish underground state began to coalesce, thereby enabling organized resistance against the invaders.
And now the people are starting to fight
The
back.
German occupants wished to destroy it, but they did not succeed, because Poles are the world's champions in conspiracy. The Polish underground state created many military organizations. The largest among them was the Home Army. With almost 400,000 soldiers, was one of the greatest armed forces in occupied Europe. Between 1942 and 1945, the forces of Fighting Poland carried out over 100,000 important armed diversionary strikes. Over 2,300 attacks were conducted on German transport. The terror conducted against civilians was a daily matter, and that is why the armed underground knew how to respond to it. The Home Army's leaders organized campaigns which were astounding in their daring. The Warsaw Uprising was launched by the Home Army with the support of the city's population. For Varsovians had simply had enough of the bloody German occupation. The anticipation was that the uprising would liberate Warsaw within days, but that's not what happened. The city fought on alone for 63 days before being compelled to capitulate. Żegota, the underground council to aid the Jews, was the only state organization saving Jews from extermination in occupied Europe. People of this organization, risking their lives, secured money to sustain 4,000 Jews and get false documents for about 50,000. This woman alone saved 2,500 Jewish children from death. Jan Karski, a courier of the Polish underground state, he infiltrated into the death camp for Jews and afterwards escaped and got through to the West to inform the Allies about the Holocaust. No one wanted to listen to him. Hitler planned to transform Poles into an uneducated mass of slaves, so he banned teaching in high schools and universities under the pain of death. And that is why Poles organized secret illegal teaching on a mass scale. The British intelligence got 53% of its intelligence reports from the European continent from Poles. It was the Home Army's agents who located the secret German experimental site for the V-2 rockets, subsequently destroyed by British bombers. This is where Hitler's last hope of winning the war died. The group coordinating the N campaign drove the Third Reich's services to madness because it made the impression that a great resistance movement was operating in the Reich, spreading leaflets everywhere. The Polish underground state made a great contribution to the victory over Nazi Germany.
Okay, and then let's see. Okay, and then I'm gonna put just a quick quiz up here to see how you can do on that. But that was basically very quickly pages 134, 5, 6, and 7 on here. And let me just see if there were any questions I wanted to ask you guys. Poland was conquered quickly because they weren't prepared. Germans had superior fighting skills, weapons, strong determination. Blitzkrieg, okay, was that lightning war that came in. That's what that was. And the Germans treated the Poles very harshly. And so that is the end of that little section.